everybody. Welcome to Dandelion Cottage. Today is Watercolor Wednesday, and I'm Leslie Watkins. And let me just get organized here. Hi, I hope you're well. I hope you're enjoying this beautiful day. I was outside earlier this morning looking at all the colors and the leaves and the late blooming asters. Some of the fruits and all sorts of things. So I collected a little basket of items that I'm going to share with you. I'm going to go through them all, and then I'm going to select a kind of a nature's collage and show you how to paint that. And I think what's going to happen is that I will do what I did last week, where I take the image, the painting, and use it to make something on Saturday. So this will be a two-part episode. This will be the watercolor portion, and on Saturday will be the paper crafting portion. So let's get started. Let me check my settings here, make sure we're working, and we are. Okay. So here is my little basket. Get you straightened out. Here we go. It's a little bit better. No, it's worse. Oops. Everything is backwards with this arrangement, so I have to change my perspective. That looks a little better. Okay. So this great big leaf we have on top is this gorgeous scarlet leaf, and unfortunately the thing that you're missing, well, a little bit, you can see the transmitted light. The thing about the autumn leaves is that when the light shines through them, you get this incredible stained glass effect, and if the light's just right, it can be absolutely dazzling. And so this leaf is the oak leaf hydrangea, and it takes on this wonderful deep crimson color in the fall. And I need a sip of coffee. That's a little better. Okay, and then I've got an assortment of yellow leaves, and then some more of these beautiful russet ones. This is the sumac, and this one just has a little bit of the tinge of red to it, but these, under the right conditions, will turn the most brilliant, deep, rich red, and I love those. This is a Amelanchier leaf. This is the shad, one of my favorite trees. I use this quite a lot in my garden design, and I've got several in my yard. This is a trumpet vine, or a trumpet creeper leaf, and it has that green tinge to it. Look at that deep, deep yellow, beautiful. And I even have some goldenrod here. These are the woodland asters. Just beautiful. Those are a native, and they're blooming all over the place right now. This is, oh, I forgot what this is. I'll have to think about that for a minute. It'll come to me. I even have some peppers from the garden that are turning a beautiful medium red. This is my Japanese maple. This is another one that if you hold it up to the light, it creates this incredible dazzling effect. And I've got a lot more leaves here than I actually need. So I'm just going to kind of rush through these remaining ones. See if there's anything important in here. Oh, here's an amaranth, the giant amaranth. That gets very good fall color. I've got a couple of those. Oh, here is an ilex with the berries. The birds will come and take those soon. A little bit more. And this beautiful orange is the calendula, and this is from my vegetable garden. These flowers are edible. You can also use them to make beautiful skincare products. You mix them with oils and use that to rub on your skin. Here's look at the color of this pretty little maple leaf. Oh, and here's the black-eyed Susans. They're still blooming fairly strong. So I think you can get the picture that there's quite a lot out there still to use as your inspiration. This bright yellow comes from the mustard that seeds itself all around my garden, my vegetable garden. Okay, and then I just have some odds and ends here. So this is our color palette for today. Here's a nice maple leaf. I tried to get some of the really brilliant orange maple leaves, but I didn't have any ready. The leaves are still partially turned. They haven't finished yet. Oh, and here's one more thing I want to show you. I don't know if the camera will pick this up, but here is one of the beautiful peacock feathers. Maybe you can see a little bit of that iridescence on there. So this is one of the beautiful blue-violet colors that comes from their chest. Well, there is our gorgeous assortment of color, and I think you can see how this really gives you an idea of what happens here in New England in the autumn time. Just beautiful. So okay, so I'm going to clean this up now and get my paints out. And I want to tell you a little bit about what's coming up next month in November. So if you go to my website at dandelioncottagedesign.com, you will find a place where you can subscribe to my newsletter called Notes from Dandelion Cottage. And if you do that, I will send you on the first of every month the class listings that I have coming up for that month. And usually there are several. And sometimes there are special events and all sorts of other things. So that's the only way you're really going to find out all the information. It also includes the registration button. So if there's something there that you think you might want to participate in, that's how you go about signing up. But here's what I wanted to tell you about is that in November, I'm going to begin a special watercolor card painting club. And every month there's going to be a different subject, and I'm going to show you how to paint something different. So for instance, in November, the subject is going to be autumn leaves. And so this is going to be like a little preview of what we'll be doing. And then coming up in December, in time for Christmas card making, I'm going to show you how to paint holly with the berries, and maybe even a little chickadee or something like that. And so every month throughout the year, we'll continue along those lines. And if you sign up for the full 6 months, it's a 6-month subscription. Every month you'll get a packet of envelopes, papers, colored mats, and occasionally some embellishments. Maybe a ribbon. We'll see how it goes. And so this is going to be your chance to get started doing this. You also have the option of signing up just for a single class, but if you sign up for the full 6 months, you get a lot of special deals, and including a live Zoom question and answer and critique. So you don't want to miss that. So again, here's that website information. Go to dandelioncottagedesign.com, subscribe to Notes, and I will fill you in on all the details. Okay, so this is a piece of hot press watercolor paper, and I'm going to give it some spritz with some water off to the side here. Okay, so there's our sheet, and this is a quarter sheet of one piece. The full-size sheets are 22 by 30. And I'm just making sure that it's damp enough so that it lays flat. Here we go. Now I'm going to get my big brush. And I think what I'll do is I'll grab a couple of leaves across the top just for color inspiration. There we go. I think you can see a little bit of that peeking out from above. And maybe some of these pretty berries. I love berries. And I love painting berries. I think they add such a nice element to border designs. Okay, so that's plenty for now. And I'm just going to mix up some colors. I'm using only 3 colors, so I've got red, yellow, and blue. I also have watercolor kits available if you're just getting started and you don't have any paints or a brush. That's another option. And for those of you who already have watercolors, I strongly recommend that you limit yourself to just the 3 colors. And you can choose whatever red, yellow, or blue you like, but they should be fairly bright and easy to manage colors that give you good mixtures. Okay, so I'm just gonna drop some color on the page, and this is just an abstract. I'm gonna let these colors all swirl together. And this is not going to be a long video today because there will not be enough time for the paint to dry to allow me to go to the next step. So this is just going to be a quickie. I just want to show you how to get started, and hopefully to give you a little inspiration to go outside and see what you can find in nature. And really, I'm just sort of cleaning up my palette. So any of these mixtures from my last painting session are fine. And the other thing that you'll notice with the watercolor is that oftentimes the paint lightens as it dries. So don't be afraid to get plenty of color on there. I'm kind of keeping it in the middle. So these are just a sort of a middle tone. There we go. And I'm going to make sure I bring these colors out to the edges so that we don't waste any paper. Okay, so once we've got the paper fairly well covered, I can go back and get some richer, deeper tones and just get those started. Not all over, just sort of here and there, just as an accent. I think I want to get some violet, so I'm going to mix the red and blue together. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. Alright, so now my paper is fairly well saturated. And I've got plenty of color here. And I'm just going to set this aside to dry. And next time, when we come back, I'm going to show you what you can do with something colorful and abstract like this to reflect the autumn colors. Before I go, I want to show you something. I got a card in the mail from a friend of mine, Abby. And Abby, I just want to thank you so much for this beautiful card. It says, "A best friend leaves a paw print on your heart." And then on the inside it says, "So sorry for your loss." And she's got these little paw prints. And for those of you who don't know, and some of you may know, my beautiful big German Shepherd dog passed away last week. And it's been very still here without him. Every morning I look for him and get ready to do something with him, take him for a walk or feed him or whatever, and it's very sad not to have him here anymore. So I just wanted to thank Abby so much for taking the time to send me this beautiful card that she made, and also to let you all know that when you make all these cards, send them to somebody. You know, that's the idea. And it's a very powerful message to let somebody know that you're thinking about them and that you care. And just to give them a beautiful little surprise in the mailbox. So take the time to do that. So stay well, stay creative, and I'll see you next time on Paper Crafting Saturday.